Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Celebration from Home, a special episode again of ForceTime and Into a Larger World, the podcast. We're back. We're so excited to talk day one, to preview day two. The Andor panel is literally starting right now, and I think
literally right now.
Kara, how are you feeling? Did you stay up late? What was your routine last night?
I definitely stayed up later than I planned. I did have work today, so but it was I wasn't really watching the stream though. I was just like looking at people's stories and looking at the Facebook group and looking at pictures of blah blah blah. But and then today at work I got no work done. I was just clicking things and watching clips and catching up. What about you? Same story pretty much?
I stayed up way later than I wanted to.
Yeah.
A little bit just from doing this for 2 hours and then trying to go to sleep after that, but also scrolling and getting sent things. And it was crazy. So, but had a lot of coffee today, had a lot of caffeine tonight, feeling good. I do want to say shout out to Blast Points for that video of One Way Out to open the show. They just took that not even an hour ago and I got it put in there.
And also, we did see before we started that the prisoners did go on stage in the panel before it started. So that's just cool. I'm sure there's pictures of that going around.
They are running all over the place. I do want to say, based on our stream last night, I want to give everyone a heads up. There could be loud noises tonight at some point. I don't know when. It's random how it happens.
Can we?
I want to give everyone a heads up. We scared a cat last night. Like, I just want to be clear. There could be loud noises. Might turn us down a little bit if that does bother you, because a lot of people do have sensory sensitivities. So I do want to be sensitive to that.
I think if you see the screen change suddenly, maybe hit a quick mute and then see what happens. George Lucas Talk Show.
Hello. Thanks for joining us.
The best.
Catrina is here. Katrina's going to join us very shortly. We're going to preview some things, and we are really excited to talk to Catrina. First off, there's a lot of stuff happening today. There's a lot of stuff that happened last night. We're going to talk about most of that with Catrina, but Andor panel is going on right now. We did want to talk about, we started to, and then we got sidetracked with all the news yesterday.
Right.
The Andor release schedule. This has been a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about this as first off, as a fan, and then also as a weekly podcaster with me on ForceTime? We don't know what we're going to do yet.
No, we haven't made a plan. We're kind of just avoiding making any kind of decision because we do love talking about the shows every week. But wasn't Andor the show that we didn't do every week because of whatever was going on in life?
Yes, it was. We were super busy. We did a mid-season and a postseason.
Right. So, but I'm excited to see hi, David. I'm excited to see the 3 episodes at a time because I think the arcs are going to be really significant. And I also think that's really going to help with being able to follow what year it is, since we know it's like 3 in a year, etc. So I do think that that's going to be helpful, but I don't know. As far as podcasting, what do you think?
It's going to be a lot for sure. I don't know that there's screeners out there, but we aren't on that. We don't get screeners. So we're going to watch it that night. And then we only have a week. I mean, normally when we're doing weekly podcasts, I like to try to get them out the day after the next day, because
you really do.
Everyone's getting them out. You don't have too much time to listen to it before the next week. You're already consuming almost 2 hours a week now. So I don't know what we're going to do.
I have an idea. I have an idea. Well, we're literally talking about this in real time right now, but what if instead we obviously aren't going to be able to talk about each beat per episode, but if we picked like a theme from each of the 3, and then we talked about each of the 3 themes and then kind of went through how they connected and stuff like that. I mean, that's an idea, I feel like, to kind of broaden it a little bit.
We're going to have to get specific on what we want to cover. We're not going to be able to do a 3-hour episode and me edit it and put it out. So we'll figure it out, but I am excited. I am too. I do think, like, overall, the 3 episodes, they're going to go so fast. It is going to be an hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half. It's going to fly by, and it's going to feel like one long movie, basically, which is really cool. So
it really is.
And speaking of Andor.
So now you know what the loud sound sounds like.
Now everyone, especially Robin,
Yeah.
and Will figured out if you put it in the live chat, it's going to trigger it. So
not every time, that could get out of control.
Not every time. Those are your loud noises. It's going to happen a little bit more.
Dealer's choice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So first off, we are obviously still feeling the FOMO from not being at Celebration. We wanted to do something to make everybody feel like you're there, like you're part of the action. There is so much that is going on over there. So we wanted to put together just a little presentation and just go through some pictures of some cosplay, some cool things that are happening in Japan. So we're going to go ahead and pull that up.
And some of these we pulled from social media, but also a lot of them were sent to us, which is so awesome. And we're so thankful that everyone's keeping us updated. These first two were sent to me by Tokyo_Fox on Instagram. Just two really cool. I want to hug that Ewok real bad.
Really
and I have a feeling maybe that Bantha is the Belgian prop builders. I know they're definitely there in full force, but yeah, so that's just two cool floor features. I think there's also a Grogu that looks like that Ewok, like a big
I saw that one
guy.
floating around too. Yep. Now you just got this sent not too long ago. What's going on here?
I have no idea. Yeah,
they're not Legos, right? It's
no.
Okay.
I don't know. This is my boyfriend Sean's friend Ewan is there, and he sent me these, and he was sending a couple things that I haven't seen pictures of yet, and this is one of them. It says Miniature Life on that box there, so it looks like somebody takes Star Wars toys or figures or ships and then uses other materials to make like scenes for them. That's just really cool. I can't wait to try to learn more about that because that looks really good.
Yes, absolutely. What's next here? Got some photos of Hayden on the live stage.
Just great shots. That was such a good clip.
Really good. We got okay. I saw this picture on the right going around a lot and on the left. Ayu from Star Wars Visions Volume 2. They need to make a plush Ayu. Like from the beginning. I don't know how they have it, but when I saw this, I need that.
We discussed that. I know we did.
Yeah, we have. Ayu's song was one of the best. Visions is so cool. I can't wait until tomorrow to learn more about the next volume of Visions. And then the one on the left is from I Am Your Mother, which was another really cute one.
Yeah, and it looked like they had a bunch of different Visions models or like the claymation they had, it looked like was actually possibly used in the clip because it didn't have a mouth.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But then there was a whole bunch of those in cases, which was really cool.
They were really good. Brian says it looks like it's a Japanese miniature toy photographer. That is so
I love cool. that. Oh my god, I have to look that up.
Miniature Life. Okay, awesome. So we got so we got that. This is Blast Points again. Another shout out to Blast Points. This is from Jacopo Collects and Talking Bay. They had their George Lucas Super Live Adventure panel yesterday. They have another panel today too. Another shout out. This is kind of a mini Blast Points chill group get together. I think
a lot of us
kind of run together. So yeah, I want to shout out them. Here's some more. And then also it says the wildest thing, BB8. Thank you for joining BB8. We got a beep boop earlier. The wildest thing is that Ayu is not stop motion, it's CGI, but that's a real thing. They made
so it cool.
Amazing.
And I wanted to say this thing on the left, this Mandalorian and Grogu kind of sculpture there on the left. I saw that it's a Nebuta, which is a large and vibrant lantern. Large and vibrant lantern floats that are used in a Nebuta Matsuri, which is like a summer festival with a bunch of these lantern floats in a parade. So that's what that is. It's like a Star Wars themed one of those big lantern floats.
That is amazing. And then we got L3 on the other side. This is this
it's actually no, it's the art show.
Oh, it's the art
show. You can't really tell, but on those like white papers on that one that are facing us is, I believe, Don Murphy's booth on the other side. So that's cool.
And then we have some pics from Julia, our friend Julia at Darth Juliet on Instagram from the Doug Chang panel.
And so good.
that panel looked so cool. It was a skeleton crew panel. So we see Neil, the Neil animatronic. We see Neil's bike was based on a 3-wheeler, basically one of those big wheels. I had a big wheel when I was younger. If
That's
anyone
great.
else had a big wheel, shout it out in the chat, because I had one looked almost identical to that. And then we have Kim on the right, which seeing the behind the scenes of Kim is super cool. Doug Chain is one of the most interesting people ever.
I don't know if that panel streamed or not, but I have to look into that. I don't think that they've posted yesterday's stream on the channel yet. Every historical point says that they will eventually, but I have seen that other people have uploaded it. So
gotcha.
It's out there.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
More pics from Julia. So we have, this is the line for the store on the right. So of course I saw a lot of people talking about the lines. That's every celebration.
It is. And I heard a lot of people
that's
talking.
Every con, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a lot of people talking about the store as well. I will say that the store is definitely historically really bad on the first day. When I was working in Chicago, that first day people waited for like 8 hours, but every day after that, it got a little bit better.
For sure.
I don't know why when we've done it this many times that still happens, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It'll get figured out eventually. And then on the left here we have Dave and John doing some press. These are really okay. So now we're starting the cosplay portion, and we just want to show some of our favorite cosplayers. This was sent to you by Dave Brott, which
no, he posted them on Facebook. Yeah, he shared them on Facebook. Yeah. Yep. But these are just really good cosplays. The shrimp farmers, I'm just dead. That's the coolest. Like, what a good idea. Shout out to them, whoever they are. And then we've got some awesome looking Mauls. I don't know if they're all Darth Mauls or if it's like Darth Maul and then some.
I think the middle might be
build your own. That Savage definitely, yeah. But the other ones, they have like different Maul outfits. So I don't know about that. And then they did the running of the hoods yesterday.
It's a big day.
It's usually Saturdays, but I mean, well, it changes. But I think most recently it's been this Saturday. So it's interesting that they did it yesterday.
And that is one of your favorite things.
It's just they probably did it yesterday since the prisoners were today. But anyway, yeah, it's the best thing ever. I saw it in London for the first time. I was in Anaheim and Chicago, but I missed them both times, and saw it in London, cried like a baby. It's like a very happy thing, and I was just weeping. But it was just great, and it's one of the coolest things that they do. Save the rebellion, save the ice cream.
Okay, now this is really cool. So you got this from Dave's Facebook page as well.
Yes, this picture was from Dave, but I did see this cosplay pictured a bunch of times, and then I saw a little clip where the person just like kind of did a tumble, but you found an even better video from Britt, right?
Britt Good on Instagram. Watch this. Is that not the best thing ever?
It's genius.
I have to watch it one more time. That is so good. That is so good. So many creative people out there.
What a good idea. Oh my God. So good.
So then we had some sent in from Sophia at So Stardust. #renew the acolyte. Let's go. Mm-hmm. She got pictures. So up in the top left, that's her with Andorisms, who is Bix. And then we have Matt, the radar technician. But then we have in the middle, Osha and May together. She found her twin sister. Incredible. And then on the right, this Soul and Jackie are amazing. It's so good to see the acolyte represented. And
it is. And Star Wars posted a quick little reel with a little handful of cosplays. They just posted it like a couple hours ago, I think. And that Soul and Jackie were in there, and they look awesome.
They look amazing. They look amazing.
So cool.
Star Wars Thrifting took a camera over to specifically photograph, and she got some really good ones. So we have the pit droids on the left. We have
pit droid. That is genius. Pit droids.
Really good. And then the Jar Jar representation on the right is just amazing. Shout out to
Silver. Really good. Love that.
And then these are from Blast Points. So we have the Mithril from The Mandalorian.
It looks so good.
Season 1.
Awesome.
They always find the wacky ones. And then we have Neil, Frog Lady, and Frog Lady's husband. And then on the right, when I saw that one of the Nemoidian, my first instinct is like, wow, that Nemoidian's really short. But then I just remembered Jason and Gabe are both super, super tall. So that Nemoidian is probably average height, but Gabe is just they are very tall. And then Stax Rebo, in her excellent Max Rebo costume with a little Jabba. The Bitches of Dathomir podcast on the right. We have
that holocron cosplay is
the holocron Marin. We have again Max Rebo, and Rachel's Avar Kriss it looks like she could star in a movie about Avar Kriss. That's how good
so it looks. Good. There was a lot of High Republic stuff cosplay floating around that I saw pictures of, which is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then these are from our friend Abby. In the middle there is Abby at Star Wars Parallels on Instagram, another awesome mall. And then on the right, I love when people cosplay as Yoda, but they're
just like a tall Yoda.
Yeah, it reminds me of that meme where it has Yoda at the end of Revenge of the Sith as tall as Obi-Wan.
Yes.
And who else is he with?
Okay,
I didn't say it.
You're doing that while very important things are happening. They're streaming the Andor panel.
They are streaming regular size Yoda. Thank you. So funny. But that is at the end of the Revenge of the Sith. If you haven't seen that meme that was made, normal size, regular size Yoda is so good. And then we got more from Star Wars Parallels. We have one of the Emperor's Guard, and then
that George Lucas is wonderful.
George Lucas is incredible. And then we got some more Acolyte love, and then this amazing Anakin. So sounds like the Andor panel is streaming now, which is good. I'm really excited to see what comes out of that. I do want to shout out Tiff with the fan of real quick. I'm wearing another one of her shirts. This is my hoodie. It's Twin Sons Tatooine hoodie, and we love Tiff. I'm going to throw the banner up. She does still have the discount going on, so definitely check out a fan of if you don't already. But there it is right there. You get a 10% discount if you use that code. Tiff's the best. We just want to shout her out again. We'll leave that up for a little bit as well.
And she's doing a bunch of cool giveaways this weekend and a bunch of like freebie stuff, so definitely follow a fan of.
Yep,
the best stuff.
Do it. All right, so I think it's time. I think it is time to welcome Catrina to the stage. Catrina,
hello.
Welcome. I think you might be muted. I don't know if that's me or if that's you.
Nope. Is it working now?
Yeah.
Yay! Sorry, I was muted.
All the Acolyte love we just talked about, and I love your shirt. It's incredible.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. So
I had no idea if and when they were going to make merch. So like after the first episode, I just made this and had it happen.
That is
sometimes you got to do it yourself, you know,
right?
And I also hope you did not watch my in memoriam video last night. I hope you missed that.
I need to catch up on that. I'm gonna have to go watch it now.
It was back.
Then we might have to have a firm discussion.
Yeah, I love Yord, and I am part of the Yord Horde too. And it was all made in love. Welcome, Catrina. We're so excited that you're here to help us work through what the hell happened yesterday and what's happening literally right now.
Oh, yes. Things are happening.
I have the panel on in another window, and I'm following the Distant Echoes feed, the Star Wars Explained feed.
Yep. I have them all pulled up too.
It's like we're like in the home base with a bunch of screens going.
Yes.
You know, it's just a lot, you know?
It's crazy. This is our first time doing anything live, and it's been nuts. Yesterday was nuts. So I think today's going to be even crazier. But first off, let's talk about yesterday first.
Yes.
What announcements out of yesterday are you most excited for?
I mean, my answer to that is always everything High Republic. I've been waiting for this phase, and I was very lucky a couple weeks ago. I got to go do the media preview for Season of the Force, and the High Republic authors, many of them were there. So we were I was hearing hints of like what we were to expect, but like I didn't expect something on the level that we have right now, coming in with the High Republic. So I'm really excited about that. I am excited about the fact that at the animation panel, they showed the first episode of Star Wars Underworld, or Tales from the Underworld, which is
fun.
Oh, like, and it was a Ventress episode, and I'm
Yes.
loving everything I'm hearing. So there's that, and then of course, the mall show. But to me personally, and maybe Kira will agree with me in chat, but the mall show presents the potential for more Kira in animated format. So those are like the three big things. I was like, oh yeah, like.
I feel like that was like a consensus when the mall thing was announced. Like, does this mean we'll get some Crimson Dawn goodness? And I think we need that. That would be great.
Yes.
And I think animation would be such a good way to continue that story too, or to add to it.
It's the perfect route for it. Yes, there's Liv in the chat, and she called it last night. She said that was her big thing that she wanted was Crimson Dawn show, and I feel like we're pretty close to it because I think it's got to be in that time period where he is in charge of that. So I think that's where they're going. I'm really excited for that too. Yeah. Carol, what was your takeaways from yesterday?
I mean, I think the Ryan Gosling. I love that our reaction to that news is captured forever. That was really funny. But yeah, the Ryan Gosling of it all. I don't really have any strong feelings. Everyone, probably a lot of people listening know that I don't consider that any of these movies are real and happening until they're like tickets go on sale. Then I'll be like, okay, great, it's real. It'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, I think the place that it is in the timeline, as far as we're hearing being post episode 9, is very intriguing because I think that really gives it freedom.
Yeah.
In a cool way. So yeah, that's that.
Starfighter. That's wild. That's still crazy. How about we talked a little bit about this before, me and Kara did before we hopped on. The Mandalorian footage is out there. Yes. There's groups of people who they will not watch anything. There are groups of people like me who I will seek that kind. I don't like spoilers necessarily, but that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've watched it and I saw
it's early enough. Yeah.
Did you two watch it? How are we feeling about the footage and what's our reactions to the Mandalorian and Grogu news?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like I'm really hyped for the the end of this, which is going to be like Heir to the Empire. But I was very excited to see all the action that we're really seeing in these clips. Like I will say that there were moments, especially last season, that felt very like a lull, basically, in the season. But so I'm really excited that they led this with action, and it looks like we're going to see some really interesting people return, and we're going to see Grogu continue to grow in his very unique path. So yeah, so I'm hyped.
Yeah, me too. I did see it, and I think it looks like it's gonna be like very I don't know what the word is, but like just like funny, like a funnier, maybe more lighthearted vibe, which I think is that's exciting, especially after Andor kicks our asses. We'll need a little reprieve, maybe.
Star Wars is really good at that, giving us a little
of both. We need both.
Yeah.
You still traumatized from the Acolyte? Here's Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, exactly. A little balm to soothe.
Yeah. Ebbs and flows. So yeah.
I the footage for the Mandalorian Grogu that I watched, that did get me way more excited than I already was. I think, again, kind of like Kara said, I don't think that these things are real either. But seeing that finally, it was like, oh,
in a fun way. Not in a mean way.
Yeah, for sure. No, but it looked really good. The other thing, this will transition us to our next topic, that came out of the publishing panel, was that Phil Shostak is writing the Art of Andor, which comes out next year. The Art of books, I have a few of them right here, are some of my favorite things.
So good.
Ever. And the Andor one has got to be just filled with the best stuff.
That'll be exciting.
I've been waiting for that one for a very long time. And the moment I saw the news, I had flashbacks to all of those massive set piece moments in the first season of Andor that were just so impressive given the scale and the budget of the project. So I'm really excited to read all of those behind the scenes stories and really look at that art and sit with it for a while.
Yeah, and I like that it'll be seasons 1 and 2 in the same book. Like that's cool. Keep it all together. And I'm excited to see if there are like concepts of Narkina, like early concepts for what that prison would be like. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Another note on Andor, they are showing us, shout out to Star Wars Explained, they are going to show us, not us at home, I don't think, yet.
Well,
but they
who
said
knows?
they're going to show us the first episode of Andor season 2. So that's what they just announced.
The first episode. Okay.
Just the first episode. So we were kind of speculating on, because a couple of years ago in Anaheim was a couple days before Obi-Wan Kenobi came out. They dropped the first two, right? I think the first 2 episodes.
Yes.
That were supposed to come out on that Tuesday or something around those lines, and they had dropped it. So I was wondering if they were going to do that. Who knows if it's going to hit Disney Plus early? If they're just doing the first one, I doubt it.
Unless they put out like the first one today and the next 2 on Tuesday. Yeah. That would be weird though.
Right.
I don't know.
The panel is over, but they're watching it right now. That's crazy. Good for them. I'm really happy for them.
It's going to be really fun.
Happy
for you.
Love it.
Great.
So enjoy. Bye-bye.
All right, let's talk Andor though. So when we left off season 1, there was a huge uprising on Ferrix. Andor, the closing scene of that was so good with him and Luthen, and Andor, Cassian basically goes in and says, either kill me or recruit me. There's no in betweens. It's this or that. And Luthen just gives him a look. They kind of smile at each other. Such a good, almost getting goosebumps just thinking about that final scene. That's where we left off. We are coming into a new season where we have 4 arcs, 4 weeks, 3 episodes each. And each arc is supposed to represent a year leading up to Rogue One. So we have K2 back. Bix is back. Vel, Cinta, Brasso. My first question to both of you is this going to have, this is just pure speculation, is this going to have a Rogue One type ending where all these characters we've grown to love over this first season, probably this season, are gone? I think that Star Wars has showed us both before. I think
yes, that's true.
We've speculated a lot with the Acolyte. We're like, all the Jedi that see a Sith, whatever, they don't necessarily have to die. There's creative ways. And then what happened? They literally all of them died. But we've had other things happen where it's kind of been the opposite, where, one of Dave Filoni's big things was with Ahsoka, in the Clone Wars, like, she doesn't have to die. We can figure out, she can go to, it's a big galaxy. Are we going to be missing everybody from this group that we don't see in Rogue One or the original trilogy at the end of the season?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I don't know what I'm going to do if something happens to Brasso and Bix. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, it hurts.
Bix is looking better. She's looking better than where we left her off.
Which is
good. But I agree, especially Bix and Brasso. Vel and Cinta too, like, there's ways to keep them in, but I don't know. And we think Luthen is he's probably a goner, right? I think he's probably the most obvious, like, one that could get.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see maybe Mon Mothma's husband getting it too, just because he's
exactly. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm good. There's that TikTok sound where it's like, leave your husband, leave your husband. I'm just like, come on, Mon. You can do better.
With that sound.
Oh man, yeah. I definitely agree that Luthen has his days are pretty numbered. But like you said, the fact that some characters have stayed and some characters have not. Like Kira didn't die; she went on to become a criminal faction leader. So who knows? Really, I feel like whatever happens, it's gonna still feel surprising and jarring, and then we'll be breathing like a breath of fresh air for whoever survives. But yeah, I don't know.
I would like if some of them, like Val and Cinta, or something like random, like if a good number of them survive, and then it's just like kind of mysterious what happens to them, because then we can get like books and stuff about them, which I think would be really fun.
Yeah, that's what Brian says. I think they could just filter down into the Rebellion Empire without affecting any stories down the line. For sure, they could still be part of that. It's a big rebellion. It's a big empire. Speaking of the Empire, Krennic is back. Kara is so excited about that. Is Krennic your all-time favorite?
It's so hard because whenever I think of like all-time favorite, I think of Luke and Leia, but I just really like Krennic so much. I think he's so interesting. I think Ben Mendelsohn's like a genius. I can't wait to see him again. I can't believe he's back. It's just I just want to see him be like at his prime, just like sassy bitch energy. Pardon my French. And just, trying to claw his way up and stuff. And I also want to see if they show any signs of like guilt or shame in him, because maybe it's because of the book Catalyst, but all his interactions with Galen, I like have so much headcanon that he like doesn't want, like he wants to be his friend, and but maybe that's just in my head. Who knows? It could definitely be in my head.
We also have Cyril and Dedra. So what's going to happen with these two? Any thoughts? Are we seeing, is this going to be a fully formed ship? Because I feel like we got there in a weird way. Cyril's such a creep in season 1, but I feel like Deidre kind of likes that a little bit. Where are we going? Where are we going with this storyline? Do you think that's happening this season?
I'm sure there's a mutually beneficial relationship that they can like carve out with their individual wants. She wants to hear men say yes to her for once in her life, and he is depressed. So I think they have a lot of potential. But hopefully they die in each other's arms or something. I don't know.
Oh, look at this.
Yes, weird, strange, spicy is what the actors just called their relationship. Amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I think.
And what about the Bix and Cassian relationship? Is that a full-fledged ship too? Yes, right? But that's beyond ship. That's like real. I don't know.
Yeah. They almost have like a deeper bond too. Right, like they're almost like childhood, that kind of stuff. I totally think that's the case. Cassian's lost everybody, and if he goes into Rogue One having also lost them, I think that's even going to be even harder. But it'll be interesting to see how that relationship. I hope we get to spend. The only thing I really want is to spend a lot of time with both of them together, because one of the things in Rogue One is that we didn't get a lot of Cassian and Jyn. Like I could have had 2 seasons of that. So if we could get more of that this season, I'd be happy.
I agree.
Yeah.
The chat's still talking about Cyril and Deidre.
They are perfectly terrible for each other. I love to hate their love. And I love to love their love. I hate to love their love. But
I do. I don't know if I like it, but I want it to happen.
Yeah. I just want to see it play out. It's like, this is entertaining. Continue, please. Yeah. I'm right with you on the Bix and Cassian thing. Like we're Star Wars fans. Like whenever they replay Order 66 from a new perspective, we're like, like same event. We're still so surprised and invested and angsty and emotional about this. Like they know how to play our heartstrings. And so that's why 1, I think we're definitely getting more Cassian and Bix. 2, that makes me incredibly worried about Bix's mortality. Because
I think that could be,
Well, that's why I'm scared.
Yeah, that's gonna be a heartbreaker.
Or
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, there's the potential for Bix's mortality, or there's the potential that maybe she does survive, but they don't work out, obviously, and she has to quote Gabriella from High School Musical, go her own way,
Right. And we could see maybe in something else down the line, whether it's a comic, a novel, or something, Bix's reaction to losing Cassian too on the flip side.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Yep. The chat has really devolved here. Okay, so
no, they have not. They're doing great.
in a great way. That's really exciting. So Jessie was talking about the relationships and haven't had that certain type of relationship, but then she says we haven't had that unless you count Stinky's relationship. And now we got a Stinky chat, which I guess we can talk some more about Stinky.
Please don't call it Stinky chat.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I saw someone had a plush Stinky in a backpack, and it was incredible. I saw that. I loved the Stinky backpack. I need to see the Stinky backpack. If you have a screenshot of that,
yeah, we need that.
We'll show it tomorrow.
Oh, that is so cool.
Should we shift back to? Let's shift back to Andor for a couple more minutes here, because
Yeah.
we also have Vel and Cinta. So we haven't seen much of Cinta in anything, which kind of worries me. But also at the same time, I know that Verada has been working on Doctor Who,
True,
right? And like really like is one of the main stars of that show, and so she's been very busy. But what do we think with Vel and Cinta? Because they're kind of the only two left from that crew that was out there with the whole heist situation and all that stuff. They're the only ones that survived that. But we know that there's a love story with that as well.
I love them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that there's, conflict in their relationship based on their ideals, like Cinta is willing to go in a much different direction than Vel. And this is another one that this is a relationship where, someone could die, but even worse, they could break up. Like, they could definitely, this is something that could diverge in a very harsh way, like if Del sticks with Mon Mothma and the rebellion and Cinta decides that that's not enough, then she could go in a direction that Saw is going. And so there's a lot of potential for heartbreak there.
Yeah, I hope there's a lot of that kind of relationship and decision talk. I think that could be really cool, because that's representative of probably choices that people all across the galaxy had to make that we don't see,
Yeah, I think speaking of Saw, so Catrina just brought up Saw, Brian in the chat Saw is one of the most fascinating characters. We've talked a lot about him just on the show. We talked in our kind of Andor preview from about a month ago or so about Saw Gerrera and Mon Mothma, and that they're going towards the same goal, but they're doing it completely different ways. There's an episode of Star Wars Rebels where they have a conversation and it's Saw's hologram, and he's talking down to Mon Mothma, and basically if you keep doing it this way, none of us are going to have a chance. Step up, do something. And she kind of turns a little bit after that. I want more than anything out of this entire season to see a conversation between those two. I need that out of this season, because I think that would just be the best TV, because that episode of Rebels, that was the best type of TV. Yeah. I mean, it was just incredible. So I hope we see them.
And I like the sort of dynamic that we see right now. And I think between Saw and Luthen kind of being that middleman between the two of them, that, I think what leads to Rebels is where there is no more middleman, and Saw can talk directly to Mon, and that's where they finally connect, and she realizes that she has to take more desperate steps, but
I also think about the book Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and all those conversations that were being had that Leia overheard and stuff about the beginning of the rebellion. And I wonder if that'll be a part of it, or how much we'll see of that side. I don't know. That could be cool though.
It's endlessly fascinating between those three. I want just so much focus on them for this. I think Mon Mothma is such an interesting character. When we left her, she basically sold her family out to further the cause of the rebellion. It was one of those just heartbreaking, how do you ever do that type of decisions. We also don't see Leda, her daughter, and we don't see, is it Perrin? Perrin, yeah.
Perrin, yeah.
I need to get the boo button out for Perrin, because he's the worst. But we don't see them obviously past Andor.
Yeah.
Is this something where obviously, maybe they could die, whatever. I don't think that's the case. Maybe with Perrin, hopefully. But with Leda especially, it seems like it's just going to be they cut ties and they ended. So basically, maybe they won't die, but they'll be dead kind of to each other, which is
could be
really, really sad.
Really sad. Yeah.
Well, the death in a Star Wars show is the least amount of heartbreak you can like experience compared to what they can do to us.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So yeah, that severance of their relationship, like the fact that if Mon chooses the rebellion, she is going to lose her daughter, and she might very well lose her daughter to her father, and both of them kind of side with the Empire, you know?
Wow.
That's hard. That's kind of hard to talk about. Okay. The Tony versus Tony show is starting on the live
The
stream.
Anthony's
So
are
I
on
think everybody
stage.
is starting. I see the listener count or the watch count is just like dropping because everyone's going over there.
They're heading
I don't
over
blame
there.
you because Anthony Daniels and Anthony Carboni, we talked about them last night. One of the cornerstones of Star Wars Celebration for a long time now, where they go.
Well, I like to hear that Anthony is wearing his gold jacket. I know he always does, but I just hope he never retires it. That was there in 1999. I do think if I'm going to be a super nerd, I do think it's a different jacket because it's fresher gold, but it's still gold and it's great.
You need to do an episode of Into the Larger World, the podcast, where you dive in just about the jacket's history.
But here's the thing, though. Can I tell you, I wouldn't do that because it's an audio only format. But if you think I wouldn't go find a picture of every gold jacket from every year and put them in a blog post, you're wrong, because I absolutely will, and I'm probably going to do that now.
Ryan says he buys one for every celebration. It's like a Master's jacket. I like that.
I love that. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yes. Totally a different jacket. Totally agree. There's one other thing about Andor, and then Catrina will let you go, but K2SO is back. And I'm so excited about that. We didn't get him in season 1. We're going to get how him and Cassian met. K2 is one of the best parts of Rogue One. The comic relief is just the one fun, like not much else is funny in that movie in a good way, but he is like so good. What's our excitement level for K2 to be back?
High, so high. Oh, that's a K2 quote. I didn't even realize it's high.
I mean, I think K2 is going to be perfect for balancing off all that sad stuff I just brought up, you know? Like it's good to have a character who like can refocus the drama back onto something that's a little more punchy and fun, and I'm excited to see how he and Cassian sort of become allies. Like, is there a fight ahead of time that Cassian has to take him out or something like that? Because you know, I love it when Star Wars characters have good relationships with droids, like R2 and Luke. Really, how the Skywalkers treat droids in the first place, and then Cassian and B2EMO was just like, it's just so sweet. Like that's his droid, that's his like buddy, and so I'm excited to see why Cassian makes the decisions to. Because I think it's him who reprograms K2.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's really where my curiosity is like what was the decision maker there?
Yeah, definitely. How he finds him, how he programs him, how they first start like getting to know each other. Very excited for that.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think, Catrina, that there's going to be any cameos, any characters that haven't been in Andor yet? Anybody that you're hoping to see?
Well, not to set off the alarm again. But I am definitely looking forward to, you know, Gara mentioned this, but like the dynamics in the Leia book, speaking of them, I am really, really hopeful that we will see Bail Organa again. Yes. Yeah.
That.
I would like to request equally a Breha watch, because I would also like to see Breha again. Like I love every little story we get with her, and learning about how she inspired Leia as well. Like
totally.
Like what would make a better freedom fighter than 4 really awesome parents? Like fantastic. So
yeah, no, in all seriousness, I hope so too. And getting both of them, and that also kind of opens up the door to see little Leia again. I mean, you know, Vivian's not going to be that age where she can kind of pull off that young, like in this time frame. So why not Leia in this too? Just even if it's walking by the screen or something.
I don't know. Could happen.
Yep. Oh, Holdo watch as well.
Holdo
Yeah,
watch.
Didn't think of that.
That would be really cool.
that would be good. That would be awesome. I would love that.
Mhm.
There is one thing I want to ask you about because I think it's the coolest thing ever. We were talking about it earlier. We got to talk about your beauty brand that you just launched. Tell everybody all about it now.
Boldly Glow.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Yeah,
So cool.
I
We're
just wanted
celebrating.
to.
We're celebrating Star Wars right now. This is Star Trek, but I think the two they go hand in hand.
You have no idea. They
together.
absolutely do.
Yeah, I mean they're tied together, so I think this 100% fits in. It's the coolest idea, and I'm just really excited to see it come together and all the orders go out. So yeah, tell us about this.
Yeah, I will say I feel like there would be no Star Wars without Star Trek, and there would be no modern Star Trek without Star Wars. They very much go hand in hand. So yeah, but my dad was very much. We were an all sci-fi house. We had Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5. It was the 90s. We were getting the really good stuff when I was growing up, and I grew up with Star Trek: The Next Generation. So when I decided to found Boldly Glow, it was primarily because I had done concepts for like a full-fledged Star Trek: The Next Generation makeup like line with like Elcar's inspired eyeshadow, etc. But to start small with my brand, I came up with 3 lip balms. They are all colorless, flavored lip balms that are inspired by the uniforms of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And they're also divvied up by division. So this is the science division, where the sick bay folks, the doctors, and the scientists of the ship, like bioorganics and all of that, that's where they fall. There's command, of course, leadership, pilots, etc. sometimes, and science is lavender flavored because it's like a healing herb.
Love it.
And then command is peppermint flavored because you need something punchy. You need something
strong.
Yeah. And then engineering, of course, our geniuses who keep the ship running and keep it safe. Or operations, I'm sorry, who keep the ship running and safe. This is citrus flavored. And yeah, I'm so pleased with the way it all came out. I'm sorry, my camera's making it all funky and stuff. But my original concept designs, that's what I've got this in, where the full label wrapped around. We're plussed up by my partner. His name's Thomas Maroney. He built the Enterprise F for Star Trek Picard, and he's the art director for Star Trek Online. And he looked at my labels and he was like, "Can I make an adjustment?" And then he like came up with the great backsides to the labels. And yeah, so awesome. I feel really, really fortunate to have had a really successful opening week. We've got, I think, less than 7 of the peppermint command left. We have less than 9 of our science left on this run, and then a pretty decent amount still of operations. But I'm really, really excited with the way it's going, and we're definitely looking to expand to more fandoms. We're doing some tinted lip balms later this year that are based on book tropes. So they will come with customized bookmarks and labels that are based on like enemies to lovers, reluctant hero, coffee shop AU, there's only one bed, and other things.
With only one bed
within that, yeah. And we've got some other fandom collections, fandom inspired collections planned for the future, including a Night Sister lip tint collection, with each tint dedicated to a different Night Sister from Mother Talzin's clan. So I'm really super hyped for it.
Love
genius.
that.
I love the practicality of it mixed with it's also like it's like merch too, where it just fits in.
Yeah, one of our principles is creating collectibles that you can use. So stuff you can bring with you, and if you use it and another fan sees you, they know that your shoelaces are untied.
It's a shib for the West Wing watchers out there. That's a shibboleth.
Great.
I love it. Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming on the show. This was so fun. I'm glad that you were able to join us. Can you tell the people where they can find you, where they can find Boldly Glow, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you both for having me on the show. Also, Travis, I'm really excited to see your Looking for Leia sticker back there. That means a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
you had a big part in that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the assistant producer for that one. So
And
very special. Everyone can watch it online at lookingforleia.com for free, which is great. You can look for me anywhere online by looking for Catrina. That's there we go. OHCATRINA, everywhere on the internet. You can also find Boldly Glow at boldlyglowbeauty.com. And all of our social names are also Boldly Glow Beauty. And thank you both so much for having me on the stream. It's a really exciting weekend, and I'm glad I got to spend a little of it with you.
Me too. And also, Catrina, you have to come on my podcast.
Yes, please.
I made a little bit of art for Looking for Leia.
Oh my gosh.
For the zine episode.
Yes. Oh, that is so sick. Yeah, let's totally reminisce over that. Yeah. And I love that episode.
Yeah, I want to hear more about all your fandom. So we'll talk. I'll message you.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks, Catrina. This was so fun. See ya.
Have a good one.
All right.
Oh, wait, I want those chapsticks really bad. I'm like gonna get. I love that. I love
definitely.
Oh, the Next Generation is so good. Okay, anyway, yes, that was awesome.
That was really good.
Did anything else happen, Andor?
I haven't seen it. They're still watching it.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay.
Yeah. My daughter was made a small appearance in Looking for Leia.
I remember.
Yeah, because we met Annalise at Chicago Celebration 2019. And I had recognized her just from online. And so we talked for a little bit. She's like, can I get some B-roll of your daughter? Because she was dressed up as Ahsoka. And so she makes a 2-second cameo in it. It was so cool. Oh, Looking for Leia is really special. And one of those, just the best type of
100%, 110%. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Catrina. That was so fun.
Yay. That was great. Hooray.
That was great. We do have another guest coming up here in a bit, but let's talk about what has happened. Okay, so Andor has now first episode is released for those
that's fine.
Only in the room.
Right.
For that panel. So not everybody at Celebration, just the people in the room. So it is different than Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we still have to wait until Tuesday, Wednesday, I think.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So we'll wait till that. Andor also comes out.
To see if I see anything interesting, but keep talking.
It comes out at 9 p.m. So it's going to be much worse for you on the East Coast than it is for anybody on the West Coast, because that's a late night for you.
I might honestly wake up early the next day. That might be easier, or maybe like one at night. I don't know. We'll see.
Andor, I feel like it's definitely has to be experienced
all at once,
with the lights off, sound up. It's hard to watch it like on your cell phone or like quietly or anything like that. But I think it's got to be really bumping. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I do really miss the morning show release, even though the evenings are a little more convenient. I loved those like Mando mornings, waking up at 6 a.m. and having coffee and starting the day with new Star Wars. I do like that too.
It was fun. That was good. There's just fun, like different eras of Star Wars that you think back on. And now we're kind of, who knows what the future of Star Wars TV is, because I don't think, what do we have? I mean, we definitely have another season of Ahsoka. What else is on
which we'll hear about later today.
Yeah, outside of animation with Maul and a couple other things that we have coming up.
Visions, yeah,
Visions.
That's
and Tales of the Underworld. Do we have anything past Ahsoka? I don't think so.
Not that they've talked about, no. Because they haven't announced more Skeleton or obviously Acolyte. So yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I feel like the chatter has been that they're moving away from TV a little, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It seems that way. And now that we have a movie coming out next year, so we'll have Andor, and then we don't have live action TV.
Not announced. Yeah.
That's
unless we don't know when Ahsoka is going to come out, but it'll probably, I think, be
probably next
27, right? Or 26 in the fall.
I think Dave confirmed yesterday that they start shooting soon.
So I would say 27.
Yeah. Then. I think pre-production started a while ago, but as far as shooting with actors, actresses, I think that starts soon. So I don't know.
I don't either. Have you run out of things to talk about?
I have not. I did find one other thing yesterday when I was scrolling. I was going to put it in the presentation. I wasn't sure exactly what to do, but did you see Nubs dancing?
I saw a little bit of it, I think. Yeah, it was cute.
It was really good. It was actually really good.
So he did not tell me about that.
I did not. I didn't think I needed. I think I wanted to surprise you with that one too.
I noticed when you said, "Did you see Nubs dancing?" I was like, "Why are you asking me that?" Like, I guess
I saw it actually not like a few hours ago, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And Kristen Daver was up there on the stage dancing too, and it was the best thing. I want to meet mascot Nubs so bad.
Yeah.
They introduced him, I think, at either D23 or something a couple years ago, and now he just makes appearances everywhere. And he was there on stage dancing, and yeah, I'm jealous. The FOMO was hitting me pretty hard there.
He's very, very cute.
Nubs Nation, let's go. Nubs.
Yes, that was very good.
For sure. Yeah, that's what they're hoping everyone just rewatches Mando until the movie comes out. Then they'll go from there. I was
going to say we are going to have to do that, but
it's been so long because it's been already 2 years, or was it just 2 years since The Mandalorian? So it'll be 3 years between.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest with TV in general, not just Star Wars or anything, but biggest complaints about TV is that it takes so long for another season to come out, except for like some sitcoms like Abbott Elementary and some of those that are so good that crank them out.
Right.
But waiting this long, I don't know how that is helpful to keep the excitement going. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Mandalorian and Grogu does next year after not being on the screen for 3 years.
It'll be very interesting how it's marketed and everything. Yeah.
So let's talk about Celebration. Like I said, you're a Celebration expert, historian. I want to talk about something that maybe not everyone has heard if they haven't listened to your podcast. If they have, they know about the Jar Jar Jam. So Celebration 1 in Denver, Colorado, 1999. There was a little thing called the Jar Jar Jam. Can you just tell us what is the Jar Jar Jam? What happened at the Jar Jar Jam?
Yes.
How many people have you talked to that have been to the Jar Jar Jam?
Yes, I will answer all of those questions. So this was on, I don't remember. The exact dates are embarrassingly leaving my mind, but I'm going to actually Google it. So this was on the Saturday of Celebration 1 in 1999. That was from April 30th to May 2nd, I believe. Yes, in 1999. And the Saturday night, so that was April 30th, May 1st. That was a offsite event at the Temple Events Center, which does not exist anymore. And it was called the Jar Jar Jam. What I have to get to that I haven't really is like, whose idea was it? Or like, why did they want to have an offsite event? Did they just think that it would be cool? Or was it driven by Ahmed because he is a musician and because he is a performer, he wanted to have that? Or did they want to have it for? Kind of unclear there, but it was just a little tiny event space and they packed it with people. You did have to buy a separate ticket to go to it. And Ahmed and his funk band, I don't know if it was his band or if he just assembled this band specifically for this performance, but he was wearing a Chewbacca t-shirt. It was like a full Chewie face shirt, and he beatboxed and they played really cool music, and Ray Park rapped, and
it's insane.
Rick McCallum may have been dancing in some way. The website has an article from 1999 that was posted directly after that says that there was a "Go Ricky, Go Ricky, Go" chant. I cannot confirm or deny. And as far as on my podcast, who I have spoken to who was there, obviously Dan Madsen, but he was very busy. So I don't know if he like I think he said that he was just running around because he was working, but Dan Madsen was obviously there. I believe I don't know. I think Steve Sansweet, I might not have asked him, which would make a lot of sense because don't ask Steve Sansweet that question. And I just recently talked to the artist Chris Trevis, who is in the art show right now. He has the most beautiful piece. I love his art. I believe he was there. And recently, this is a little announcement for those of you who are listeners and watching and not on Patreon. I recently spoke to the previous managing editor of Insider, Scott Chernoff, and that is an episode coming to my podcast soon. And that was great. He was an MC at Celebration One, and he was also there. So he had some fun stuff to say about it too.
Incredible. That's one of those small things that I'm glad you're doing it for that reason, so you can keep that alive and people know about that, because I don't feel like enough people know about.
There is a video. There is a video that was only just posted on YouTube about a year ago. If you go to my blog, the Celebration Database, go to the Celebration One YouTube excavation. It's on there. And it is, it's just kind of, there's very little of it. It was featured in the documentary Star Wars, which is about people who waited in line for Phantom Menace for weeks. They show a very quick clip of it. That's also on YouTube. It's also on the playlist. And also, this is just really random, and I'm not going to go on a tangent about this. Don't worry. But I recently spoke to Michelle Vrana, who was one of the layout and graphic designers for Insider during that time period. And he did a lot of the design work for Celebration One, including the badge design. He didn't do the art, but he did the layout. And I mentioned the Jar Jar Jam to him, and I don't remember if he said he was there, but he was like, "Oh yeah, I did the ticket for that too." And I was like, so he designed the ticket for that.
Do you know what? Do you have a picture of the ticket? Do you know what?
I think I do. I have one.
Was it just a little stuff, like just a little?
No, it has Jar Jar on it. It's like it's yellow, blue, and orange stripes, very like early 2000s, 99, and then it has little Jar Jars and it says Jar Jar Jam. And I got a bundle from eBay. It might be in there, but I don't know. But yeah,
I would love to see that. Do you know what the capacity was for Jar Jar Jam?
I don't. I would have to look into the venue, and I might do that. But it doesn't exist anymore. So, but yeah, it couldn't have been many.
So let's shift now from that one to Star Wars Celebration Japan. In
this one or 2008? Yes.
Yes, 2008. Yeah. What happened at that one? You said yesterday it was at the same place that it is going on right now.
Same places right now. It was a lot less space. It was only halls 1, 2, and 3. This weekend they're in halls 1 through 7, which is a very big difference. It was to celebrate Clone Wars with the movie, and they showed a pretty either one lengthy clip or like 3 little clips. And that was also back at a time where the bigger panels, I guess, repeated through the whole weekend. So the Clone Wars movie panel, I think, was twice a day, maybe even 3 times a day. It was several times a day. And then there was the one for the movie as well as one for the Clone Wars TV show about episode 10 of season 1, The Lair of Grievous. And they showed a big chunk of that, and the director was there. So those were like the biggest things that were going on that weekend, honestly. And it was also the anniversary of Star Wars arriving in Japan, because Star Wars got to Japan in 1978. So it was 30 years for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's your Celebration fun facts.
And you can read more about it on my blog, Celebration Database. We need a banner for that. Let's write that down for tomorrow.
I'll work on that for sure. So let's talk about today. Let's talk about what's going on right now. So we have the Andor panel is done. We also have the Ahsoka panel. Blast Points is getting ready to go on stage soon. Talking Bay just got done.
Yes, I'm repping Talking Bay tonight.
Yes, well. And Talking Bay, Brandon, one of our friends, we both talked to him plenty. Rob Coleman was his guest, who is an ILM creative director.
So cool.
Also, they're screening the Siege of Mandalore episode.
Yeah, later today. That sounds so fun.
What are you interested in most? I mean, obviously we got to talk about Ahsoka, right? I think that's the biggest next panel that they're going to release some actual news.
Yeah, I'm interested in that because I think that the Ahsoka panel is the one that whatever you find, Brian, let me know. I've probably seen a lot of it, but still, if you find anything, let me know. Anyway, I think that the Ahsoka panel is the one that I just have no idea what to expect from it. It could be a clip, it could be pictures, it could be a poster, it could be a casting announcement, it could be a release date announcement, it could be like, I don't know. What do you think? What are they going to announce? Like, what are they going to say in the panel?
Yeah, I think we'll get
at this point in production.
Yeah, I think we'll get a release time frame. I think it'll be like a summer 2026.
Yeah, like a season,
fall or something like that. Because you got to think Andor with it only, and it kind of makes me think about Andor, how Tony Gilroy, it sounded like, fought to have it released this way. I am assuming that originally they were probably just going to do one a week, and it was going to go on for a couple weeks.
I thought I heard the opposite. I thought I read that Tony said that they wanted it.
Tony wanted it this way. Yes. I'm thinking when they
Oh, okay.
I thought
I read him say that Disney wanted it this way.
Oh.
And that he didn't.
It would make more sense if they wanted to kind of drag it out, because now it's gonna be done in a month, and then there's no Star Wars live action until next year. Maybe that's what they want, to get some more, like,
because remember when he was saying, like, I feel bad for the podcasters, and we were like, thanks, Tony. And I think he was saying that I think it's just for the Emmys.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I think we all should be fine with that. Emmys for Star Wars is.
Yep. So now we're looking. Yeah. So Ahsoka is coming up here shortly in the next couple hours, I think. We know next to nothing about this. I think one of the big questions is, obviously, it's been 2 years now already since the first season of Ahsoka,
oh my gosh,
I think 2 years. And so we're looking at a 3-year gap or 2-3-year gap. Obviously I think it's going to lead into whatever the movie is. Hayden is in Japan. Hopefully we get some more Anakin.
He could show up tonight.
He could be there. I think Rosario will be there, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know what to expect.
I have no clue. Because where are they all now? Ezra is with Hera, and Ahsoka and Sabine are stuck.
Yeah, they swapped. Yeah,
right.
They saved Ezra, and then now they're there. And Shin is there. Baylan Skoll, we don't know. Obviously with Ray Stevenson passing away, we don't know what the situation there is. If they're gonna I think the rumors are that there's a recast. But I guess we'll see there. Sorry, I got some news coming in. Nope. Non-news. So I don't know. What did you think about season 1 of Ahsoka? It was a weird time because it came out. We didn't talk about it on the show. It was when the strike was going on.
Right.
Have you revisited it since?
I haven't, and I need to. I really would like to. I would like to look at it as a full piece, beginning to end. I did really enjoy the episode by episode and talking about it with friends and stuff. I love the stuff that they did with the Clone Wars flashbacks. I thought that was insane. Like, that blew my mind. That episode melted my face. Like, I was just in shock. I couldn't believe it. I still can't really believe that happened. But and the fight choreography throughout the whole show was incredible. I thought Rosario did a really good job. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see. I also really like just all the performers. The whole ensemble cast was great. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the story has, like, we have a place to be. It's not like the Mando and Grogu where we ended very peaceful and now we can see what happens next. It's like, no, we need answers,
Yeah, we need them because it's going to lead into this big mega movie that Dave Filoni is making and directing. Thrawn will be back. He'll be the main bad guy, I'm assuming. Right. Again. Shin is still out there. We don't know. Her and Baylan kind of went their separate ways, if I remember.
Like it. Yeah.
We have that big statue of, we don't know if that's if that's a Mortis reference or what. But one of the things I liked most about Ahsoka was that it got super weird.
Yes.
I like that. I like the world between worlds. I think there's probably only one guy that I would trust to live in that, just because Dave did work with George directly on the Mortis episodes. So I think he's probably the only person that I would really, because it's kind of a concept that you don't think would work. But I think whenever they do it, I mean, those Anakin Darth Vader scenes and young Ahsoka.
When the smoke and the lights were flashing and it changed between Anakin and Vader. Come on. That was wonderful. And I also just thought of, I mentioned it to Paul Sun Youngly when he was on my podcast, the moment where I think it's Hu Yang when he's like, what's going on? And Hu Yang's like, well, his dad was a Jedi and he's sensitive in the Force or blah, blah, blah. And then Travis is just like, okay, Davis, he's just like, okay, fine. And he just walks away. So good.
What else do we have coming up? Okay, so Blast Points. Do we know what Blast Points panel? It's a news panel, so they're probably
HoloNet news. So yeah.
Okay, they're just going to be talking about that. Keep Star Wars weird.
That needs to be a shirt, Robin. Can we make that happen? That don't you think that needs to be a shirt?
It should be. We also might have a special guest here soon. I'm kind of working on someone literally right now on my phone.
If you say you're working on them, it makes you sound like you're bribing them or something.
No, yes, I'm paying this person through Venmo right now. A lot of money, but yeah, we might have someone special join, and I hope we can make it work. Seeing some pictures of Talking Bay with Rob Coleman.
Awesome.
A lot of Andor panel pictures as well.
There's a lot of them there.
Baby Yoda made an appearance. Grogu made an appearance on stage last night. I thought
you meant during Andor. I was like,
I don't have I do have the Grogu watch music, but I'm not going to play it because I don't have a really fun graphic to play with it. But
Pedro posted on his Instagram 8 minutes ago, and it's the little video with the title and then the picture of him in the costume without the helmet, and then him with Sigourney Weaver. Cute.
Pedro, we have to get the helmet off.
I mean, well, there's a picture, so. Or is the picture just like, no, he was in the suit, see?
Right, yeah, it was him. But shout out to Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder.
And there's a third guy, but I don't know his name. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Tell us in the chat.
Yes, please tell us in the chat. Also have Light and Magic panel yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't catch up on a lot of that. I think, did they screen an episode yesterday?
I don't think so. Maybe. But it came out today, so.
It did. I need to catch up on that. We have a lot of stuff to take care of the next couple weeks. So let's preview the next couple weeks. We have
Oh God.
Light and Magic.
Yeah.
Andor 3 episodes. What comes out on May 4th? Tales of the Underworld?
Tales of the Underworld. I think that's it. Unless we hear something about Visions tomorrow, but that would be crazy.
We talked about it a little bit. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Let's talk about the next celebration. What are your predictions, and what do you hope to see from this? Because it's going to be the 50th anniversary. It's going to be a huge one. I'm assuming they're going to try to get as much of the original cast back.
I hope so.
That's still around. And what are your hopes? What are your dreams as a celebration historian? What do you hope they maybe bring back from former ones that they've had that have been really big? What are your expectations?
That's a really good question. The first thing I thought is I want 5 days like Chicago. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Like, just pardon my French, but just F us up. Like, I want 5 days. And I don't know, for the 50th. Yeah. I mean, I would love to see honestly, I would love to see as many cast members as possible, but also as many crew members as possible would be really great. I would love to see a lot of behind the scenes, maybe extra new stuff that's never been seen before would be cool. Like digging into the archives to find stuff, that kind of thing. I I think that could be very exciting. I just hope it's big. I hope it's long. I hope that there's a ton of fan panels. I hope that I have one. I'm going to manifest that now. I hope that yeah, I hope that I mean if George came that would be great, but I also like he doesn't have to come. It's fine.
If there's ever going to be one that he's going to be at, it's got to be this one.
He was at 40, so every 10 years isn't too much to ask.
What happened? So 40 was, I'm gonna do my math.
2017.
And that was in Orlando.
Yes.
And that was a huge one. Did they have the original cast?
There were it was like kind of everybody, like people from all over it, because Harrison was there, George was there, Mark was there, and then Hayden and Ian, because that was like Hayden's big comeback. He didn't do autographs
17.
yet. 17.
Okay.
So he didn't do autographs or anything like that yet, but that was like one of his first big Star Wars, maybe if not the first big Star Wars appearance he was making. And it was him and Ian, and then Billy D, and we still had Peter Mayhew at the time. And that was when Billy Lord came out and introduced that really great montage of Carrie that you can find on YouTube, and it's great. And then John Williams.
Yeah.
Music, crying.
And
sobbing.
that was 2017 was also The Last Jedi.
True.
So, and that was when Rian Johnson was giving out pizzas and all that stuff.
Why didn't I see that coming?
I surprised myself. It took me a second to get over to the thing to play at that time, but
that was very good.
That was The Last Jedi panel, which was really, that was when we got the teaser.
Mm-hmm. That was It's Time for the Jedi to end, right?
Yeah. That one was crazy. We got the trailer a little bit later that year, I think in September, before it came out in December. Mm-hmm. That I remember following along from home during that one, and it was like thing after thing after thing. It was crazy. That was the reason I wanted to go in 2019 so bad, as I was like, I didn't know, because before that I hadn't really kept up with like celebration of it all, because going back all the way to 1999, like it wasn't as easy to follow along on like Twitter or social media or anything like that. Like, it wasn't there, right? So you had no idea how cool it was. But I know 17 for sure was the one that I watched, and I was like, I have to go to that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and so 2019 was your first celebration.
True. Correct.
You worked in the store. What was that? What was that like? Because you just about the line in the store.
Yeah, I decided that I wanted to go, and it was too late to get like full weekend tickets. So I just applied to work there.
Hold on. We have a special guest with us right now. We have a really special guest. This is going to be really fun. Live from Japan. Jacopo.
Hello,
thanks for
joining us. Hey. So glad to be there with you.
Oh my gosh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
How's it going? How you feeling?
Well, a bit overwhelmed.
Yes.
I can see maybe the connection is not stable.
We you look great.
Yeah, we can see you and hear you.
Okay, great. So it's been great. I'm doing just a small part of what I was planning to do, but that's part of the game,
Yeah. How was Talking Bay 94 this morning?
Oh, it was so good. It was interviewing Rob Coleman, animation director for episode 1 and 2, and 3 as well, I think. He was great. He shared a lot of stories from his career, from his job at ILM and Lucasfilm.
Cool.
So it was great. Quite emotional.
That's beautiful.
How long have you been in Japan?
I arrived here last Sunday. I spent some time visiting Tokyo. I went to Disneyland and Disney Sea. It was my first Disney park experience. So I did Star Tours 4 times. It
Yes.
was amazing. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, I did the Indiana Jones ride. It was thrilling and very cool. And yeah, and then
was
here I'm trying to, there is so much to see, to so many people to meet, that there's a lot. So as much as you can plan it, there is not enough sleep or eating or drinking.
Never is. There never is.
what do you have planned for the rest of your day today?
Okay, today I have a the reservation for the Ahsoka panel. I was lucky I got into the celebration stage. So I'll be there. And then there is a Bless Points panel in the afternoon. I will be there for sure. And then I'll be at a panel hosted by the Young Indiana Jones podcast.
Oh, right. Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it's all about the podcast today.
And how's your swag going?
Oh, great.
Good.
I can show you. I still got some. I have my classic Italian. This is my swag I'm sharing. And actually, this morning I still haven't swagged a lot. Oh, well, I just took a picture with a couple of Spaceballs cosplayers.
Nice.
They gave me a patch.
They gave you a patch? Oh my God, that's so good.
Spaceballs. Jacopo, I'm going to have you on my show for Star Wars and pop culture, and we're going to talk about Spaceballs.
I would love to.
Good idea.
We're going to make that happen.
They're producing a sequel.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did hear about that.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but in the chat, you are getting a lot of love. Everybody knows Jacopo, and everybody's mind is blown that we got you live from Japan. Thank you for coming here. This is cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone said you're in the future.
It's true. That's so cool. Have the best time. I can't wait to hear more. Take pictures. We'll talk. And yeah, it's just so good to see you. I'm so glad you're having fun.
Yeah, can't wait for the next one.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we will be there. And
yes.
we'll see tomorrow where it is. I heard some rumors, but I'm not going to say it now. We'll see tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So can't wait for that.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Have the best rest of your
trip.
Thank
you for having me. And
we'll talk to you soon.
I catch up with all your lives later, and can't wait to.
Yay.
Sounds good. We'll see ya. Bye.
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 Ciao.
Incredible.
Oh my gosh, we're like CNN right now.
We got people on the ground.
That is so Japan. Cool. Everyone, please go to Instagram. If you don't follow Jacopo Collects, Jacopo_collects. His collection is so good. He came on my podcast and talks all about growing up in Italy, a Star Wars fan, and all his childhood with Star Wars in Italian. It was so much fun, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. Love. That was so cool.
That was awesome. He's the best. I'm glad like everybody literally in the chat is talking about how he's the best. Yeah, I've followed him for a few years now. I can't remember.
Ages,
I think it was just through Instagram, maybe through Blast Points.
He's in the chill group. He definitely
is in there now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was incredible. I'm so glad that he took the time, because I know if it was me, I put it out to a couple people. If it was me, on that schedule, like there's no way I would be able to be like, because it's so much. It is overwhelming to be at a celebration. So
It really is.
appreciate him taking the time to join us. That was
Looks
so
like
fun.
looks like the weather's beautiful too.
Looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really nice. All right. We do have another guest that we're very excited about. He is here. We have Qui-Gon Jon.
Qui-Gon Jon. That's the best I could do with short notice, guys. Sorry.
I asked you a month ago to come on the thing. You had so much time to come up with
everything's last minute. So when you have some bedtime shenanigans with the boys, so I felt bad, but here I am. I was like, Dad's got a stream.
Well, did you see us with our
kids? I'm busy.
Did you see us with our on-site reporter? Like
I'm telling you, you just missed the opportunity to have two Italians on the stream at the stream with me and Jacopo. But
it would have been.
That's my guy. That guy's the best. That guy's literally the best.
Truly.
Yeah, welcome. Nice mug. I like your mug.
Okay. Oh yeah.
How have you been
this mug or which mug?
The cup for sure.
Just knock me off the stream, please.
How have you been celebrating Celebration? You joined us. You joined us last night on the chat, and you followed along. Did you stay up late last night? Did you catch up on things today? What's been your celebration from home experience so far?
What I really like about this celebration thus far, being in Japan, is you wake up in the morning and it's like Christmas morning. You're like, what did we get last night? What did we get overnight? That mall show looks amazing. Like it looks so good. My like journey with Maul as a character has gone from like thinking he's like the biggest edgelord character ever to being like one of my favorite characters of all time. So like I'm so excited for that.
Me too.
The Andor art book for seasons 1 and 2, like yes please, let's do it. And then I told you this is all I'm going to talk about the whole stream is that super like WT Cal Kestis Black Series action figure that has
I missed it. I didn't see it.
Oh my god, we got to find it. It's because in Star Wars, like in like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, you can customize Cal Kestis' hair and stuff like that.
Right.
And one of the options is like the handlebar mustache with a mullet, which I always obviously play with. Like if I could go shirtless and like handlebar mustache mullet Cal Kestis, I would have done it the whole time. But they're making a Black Series figure out of it, which is like the ultimate Star Wars Celebration fever dream. Is like, of course, why not? But then it's like Turgle, Cal Kestis,
right,
and then my Star Wars lover Marin, who I just like love that character so much. She's great. Sorry, Kara.
No, she's very cool.
Kara's really like anti me so far on this.
That's not true.
Well, if you want to be really anti me, Travis, I have a bit for you. No, just kidding.
Guys, I'm not even going to get into the bit they wanted to do today. It's fine. I shot it down. I'm sorry to both of you. I told you, besides my boyfriend Sean, you're my best friends. I'm not going to lie to you. I support your creativity. But that wasn't gonna.
Well, it wasn't even our creativity; it was Conan O'Brien's creativity. But
that's true.
Here's
there it is.
Oh, close. That's the spirit of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
Is this the Turgle? Can you see the Turgle and the Cal Kestis here?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't see your screen, right? Or...
Keystone Cal Kestis.
That's good.
That's literally what it is, and it's like it's so perfect because that's how I played through both games, is like that version of the character. So I was like, gotta get this. But I've just been really enjoying watching. My favorite part about Celebration isn't the reveals, really. It's just like the crazy combinations of people and places and things going on behind the scenes and on the floor.
Totally.
And like all the videos with like Anthony and Pedro earlier today and things like that. Just like the people that go to Celebration, the celebrities that go to Celebration just hang out. And I think that's the coolest thing in the world. Like,
yes,
it's not like they stop and like, oh, we'll just give this to the fans and then head out. It's like they spend the time and they do the work, and it's really fun to watch. So
definitely. That's so true. And I've seen a lot of people talking about how great the live stage is, and it's like when I'm in the Celebration Facebook group, which is crazy, so enter at your own warning, but a a lot of people were like, I couldn't get to do a bunch of stuff today, but then I just like went to the live stage and it was really awesome. And it's like, yeah, it's really great.
It's
everybody's
perfect.
there.
Some of my favorite Star Wars Celebration memories are at the live stage, like in 2019 in Chicago. Like that was my first celebration, and just like hanging out at the end when it's like, thank you, Star Wars fans, and they're like shooting t-shirt guns and confetti. I was like crying.
Yes, I can't believe that all three of us were in Chicago and we didn't know each other yet. It's just crazy.
No. Have you guys looked through your
ships
pictures?
passing in the night, X-Wings passing in the night?
Have you looked through your pictures to make sure we're not in the background of any of them?
I didn't.
That's a really good idea. I didn't do that on the stream right now.
Yeah,
I didn't take that many.
Scroll through every single picture.
Just go silent and just look at our phones for 20
I know
minutes.
I did see, I don't know if it was when I was just researching in my madness, and I don't remember if it was Chicago or if it was 2017, but I found a picture of our friend Steph and Allison. It was like somebody taking a picture of something else, and Steph and Allison were there, and I sent it to Steph. I was like, is that you? And she was like,
What if you went through and every picture, Steph and Allison were just in the background of every picture, like looking at you? I don't know.
And I look for friends who I know were at like celebrations 2 and 3. And when I'm digging through and watching like grainy YouTubes, I'm like looking for friends. Always looking for friends.
Always looking. That's put it on my tombstone. Always looking for friends. There's one thing I've been looking for is like, I haven't seen any news. I recently got really into that Star Wars Unlimited like card game. Against my better judgment, I decided to go full into that, and it's really fun. And I was like, I wonder if there's any Celebration exclusives. And I was like, what would it matter? Because I can't get them, but it's cool for people there. So
it's good to know about.
It's a really fun game. I've been trying to learn that with my friend Larry. Star Wars legend Larry Fish, legend to me. So
he was a subscriber to the zine for a little while, I believe.
We dropped off. I'll call him. I'll talk to him about that.
You'll fix that.
It's been 6 years now. People come and go,
Now, John, where are you coming live from? You look like you're in the world between worlds, or you're by a stone that is about to enter you into.
I'm on Lothal at the Mortis mural. As you can see, you got. I think that's as my buddy Ezra there, just checking it out for me, make sure.
Oh yeah, there he is.
That I can get in.
What's the weather like? Is it balmy, dry?
So this is actually really funny that you say this, because we were just talking about this the other day when we were playing that card game, because one of the bases you can get, or like one of the locations, is Lothal. And we were talking, like, clearly, as you do when you're like Star Wars brained, you're like, what is the weather on Lothal? Is it like Pacific Northwest, like that like weird humid heat? Or like cold, I mean, or is it like a Plains state, like dry heat? What do you think? This is the content people came to the stream for.
Drop your temperature guesses in the chat.
I actually think the Pacific Northwest sounds about right.
You don't think of it more like dry heaty?
I don't know.
Deserty, or
maybe. I feel like there's some seasons on Lothal.
It's just those different regions of it that we've seen. So I don't know. When you follow Jacopo, these are the kind of things that you have to talk about to try to pump everybody back up.
Well, we were just live from Japan, and now we're
I know
live from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I know one way we can get the people pumped up. This is Star Wars.
I was into that.
No. We're doing it. That made me sweat. That made me sweaty. Good thing I'm not at Star Wars Celebration. Can I actually tell you, during that too, I started dancing and I knocked everything off my shelf next to me, including my all my like Wally Legos just fell off to the ground. So you owe me. No. And then another thing I said I was going to hijack the stream with has not happened yet, because I forgot how time works in Japan, which is the Fortnite Star Wars collaboration.
Oh, right.
So, I think that's tomorrow. So it's you've all been spared.
Now, what's going on with that? I don't know enough about video games and Fortnite. The only thing I remember from Star Wars and Fortnite is that they dropped like the news that Palpatine was coming back through a
This is supposed to be a good time
broadcast.
stream, not a bad time stream. Yeah, in Fortnite, if you don't know, the transmission from Rise of Skywalker is in the game Fortnite before the movie came out. They did like a Star Wars special event, and the transmission from Palpatine that they talk about at the beginning in the crawl was done on Fortnite. Which is so dark and dystopian to me that like there's like we gotta work on this brand synergy for this Palpatine announcement. Palpatine was a player.
So what's your hopes for tomorrow's Fortnite panel? What's going on, or what's going on?
It's gonna. I don't care what it is. I just want a Grievous skin. That's all I really want. So what happened is like I tried to get into Fortnite for my boys to play Lego Fortnite because I thought they would really like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's this game all about? And then like I blacked out for 4 months and was like addicted to the game forever, which I think is their business strategy. But and now it's like there's no going back. There's Fortnite V-Bucks in the Easter baskets. It's like, what have I done? But
I'm trying to think of the Fortnite lingo. I know it's like, you're dropping in, right?
Keep going. That's
well, they dance.
Mm-hmm. There's emotes for sure. There's Chewie out right now on Fortnite that they just put him back out, and one of the emotes is Chewie roaring, which is pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that'll be good. We don't have to talk about Fortnite. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no image, just sound.
Chewbacca watch.
I was like, what did I do?
It doesn't work without the visual.
It does. I'll have it ready for tomorrow. What
do you call the main actor of NYPD Blue's timepiece? This is my riddle. Travis,
I got it right.
You were right there, baby. You knew it.
I truly hate you, but
yeah, Kara's gonna regret ever agreeing to this.
It's great. It's all good.
Let's talk about your T-shirt, Star Tours.
So,
not just your T-shirt, but we all rode Star Tours together. We were all in Anaheim 2022. Star Wars night was that Friday night, which part of the reason I really want the next celebration to be either Orlando or Anaheim is so we can have Star Wars night at one of those places.
100%.
That was one of the best nights. It was so constantly running into friends. It was riding Star Tours. Gabe from Blast Points was the Rebel Spy, which was insane. And we saw Sky Talkers, a bunch of people. We ran from park to park, or from part of the park. We went to Big Thunder. We went to Indiana Jones. We did all this stuff. It was such a fun time.
When we found you, Travis, Brooklyn had like some big sugary thing, and you were like, "Yeah, it is what it is."
She was ready to go. We were struggling because we got there Wednesday morning, super early. Like we landed at like 7:00, and we went straight to our hotel to drop off our bags, and then we went straight to Disneyland all day that day. Got up, celebration the next day. Then we went to Star Wars night, which they were open till 1, I think.
God knows what time. I have no idea.
We stayed up the whole time. She had actually a churro from shout out to Maddie, who used to have the Night Sisters podcast. The line for those lightsaber churros was nuts. So we walked up to the front because I didn't see the like mile long line. So we walked up to the front because it didn't compute that all these people that were just sitting there on the ground and stuff were waiting for a churro. And they're like, "Oh, you got to go to the back of the line." And I looked back and I was like, "Oh my God, this is like 2 hours." Brooklyn really wanted. So we start walking back, and I saw Maddie, who gave us she's like, "Hey, I'll get you one, just like hang out." And we got one. And so she had a couple lightsaber churros and was just wired the rest of the night, ready to go.
I think she booed Phasma.
She did boo Phasma. She was on my shoulders, and as they did the first order march down the street, that was really good.
Very good.
I'm really glad that when it comes to Star Wars events and things like that people have the presence of mind to be like, the kids come first with this. You know what I mean? Like it's like, let's take care of, let's make their experience magical and have them remember this. And it's like, it's easy for big kids like us to take over and things like that. It's like that Triumph the Insult Dog bit from the deleted scenes from our episode, Travis.
Yeah.
Was like the Lego Star Wars people come in. He's like, the Triumph is like, don't do anything crazy. Like, give them to children. That's like the funniest thing in the world. But yeah, that's awesome. That's so great that happened.
Mm-hmm. So you want to talk about Conan? I think you guys should talk about.
No. I don't.
Oh, he's got slides prepared.
No, I just have pictures. You talked about Triumph. We talked about Triumph on the podcast. What was it? Now, what was this guy's name? He was a wizard of some sort. He was not a
Blackbeard, the Dragon Master.
That's right. And this guy, I mean, he wasn't just like LARPing. That was him. That was his actual.
Yeah, he was legendary around town, and he was like the Lord of the Rings guy that would come by and be like, we're all together. You're lucky your executives a late night let you out today. That guy, he's the best. He's like, don't forget to finish your filet of fish.
and it pans down, and he has like half a fillet of fish in his hand.
So good, so good. And then Travis is like, Burger King, the official restaurant of Dragon Masters. Anyway, but I have to amend that story because I did not ride Star Tours with you guys because I was off on my own journey.
I think we met you there. And then went to Indy together. But yeah,
because my phone died. Like we were all eating Ronto roasts. That's what they were called.
Ronto wraps.
Ronto wraps.
Yep.
We were all like cramming those down. That's when Ian McDermott walked by.
Yeah.
He did. And literally, he walked by, and you were like, you came up to me, and you were like, I have to go. I was like, "Oh, are you okay?" You were like, "Yeah, I just gotta go. I gotta go."
Because I hadn't been, and like everyone was hanging out and having fun, and I was like, I may never be here again, so like I need to go. And so I took off to ride Millennium Falcon, and then I got into the Rise of the Resistance line, and my phone died. But you all took off too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lost Boy at Disney World or Disneyland, just like walking around, getting on rides like by myself, like riding around Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, getting on Hyperspace Mountain that night, just like wandering around wide-eyed and just like what's going on. And then I saw that parade, and then I saw you guys.
Yes, and that was like right after we were on Star Tours.
I was like, what is this? It is the most magical place on earth. It's crazy.
It really is.
That was literally like one of the best nights of my life. It was so good. And then I got home and told the boys I went to Disneyland. All right, that's it for me. Good night, everybody.
I was waiting for the perfect time to do that.
That was perfect.
Travis, were you born to stream?
Travis is the next
you were born
ninja.
To stream. Yeah. Were you born to stream?
Travis is gonna have a Fortnite skin.
That was the funniest. I'd buy it. 25,000 V-Bucks on Travis.
That was good.
That worked out way too well.
That was so perfect.
Okay, so I want to ask John. I want to ask you about Ryan Gosling. What was your reaction? This seems like the big thing. I think there's mixed reactions. I think I'm all on board. I think
there are Ryan Gosling, the greatest man on the earth.
I've seen it, but
yeah, I'm sure.
I think I've seen more for Sean Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
I consider myself uneducated on that topic, by the way.
100% same. Deadpool and Wolverine, correct? Did he do that one?
Deadpool,
he's done a lot of other things.
The Fall Guy.
Yeah.
I'll get into my take on that in a second. It's probably not as spicy as I think it is, but roll with me for a second. But with Ryan Gosling, he could be in like an Alpo commercial. I don't care. I love that guy. He's great. And everything he's in, like not the Fall Guy. I'm sorry. What's the video game movie that Ryan Reynolds was in?
Free
Guy.
Thank you. Because Fall Guy was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it. It was a funny movie, and that had Ryan Gosling in it, and he's hilarious in it. I just don't know how you could be mad about him being in Star Wars, especially like in a movie called Star Wars Starfighter. Like, you know what that is right away. If Ryan Gosling's the main character in a like X-Wing pilot movie, it's it's like Top Gun in space. It's it's going to be some like freewheeling or like Baby Driver type thing in space. Like
Speaking of that, I was talking to my boyfriend Sean. Shout out to Sean. And I was talking to him today about Starfighter, and he said, he was like, "Do you think it's his last name?"
That's what I said yesterday. I was like, he's actually not going to be an X-Wing
pilot. Is his name like Dirk Starfighter?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he's just some random dude on the streets of Lothal, maybe, and that's just his last name.
His name's like
Bobby. No, that's not confirmed.
Bobby No.
I'm sure he'll probably be an X-Wing.
No, we were just wondering because Starfighter sounds like it could be a last name. It's got like I don't know, Star Killer vibes.
It's like one of those things where Star Wars names are either like Clib Blitzclack or like John Starfighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Clib Blitzclack is a pretty good Star Wars name.
That was good, right?
I'll have to bank that. This like again, this might be what the conventional wisdom is, but like Sean Levy, like as a director, is just like it kind of worries me because he's the most like workman, like just put him in the movie, he'll do whatever the studio says to make the movie. But like the Ryan Gosling of it all balances it out because it's I don't know. It's just a strange situation because that director just does not scream like personal take on the franchise to me. So it's like ever since Last Jedi, I feel like they've gone so far away from that.
Yeah.
And have shied away from all those personal takes of it. But it's like it's Did I get all the alarms?
That was like a somber mention that doesn't deserve an alarm.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway,
I don't mean to be somber about it.
It's true, and
there's been a shift. Yeah,
it's an interesting idea. Like, does he have that kind of creative voice like in him? Right, exactly.
Because like Deadpool and Wolverine was like it was fun in the theater. I didn't hate it. Which surprised me. I didn't think it was like a great movie, but I was like, okay, that's what that was. And like, and so, but it was very obvious that Sean Levy was just there to do whatever Ryan Reynolds said. And so that's just what worries me about it. But that being said, Ryan Gosling at the front of a Star Wars movie is perfect, great, wonderful.
Yeah. And does it have a writer yet?
I think it's one of those situations where it does and it doesn't, and it does and it does and it doesn't.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Because that'll kind of tell us more, probably.
Definitely. And then Mikey Madsen from Andor, who just won the Oscar for Best Actress, she turned it down.
I saw
which is like funny to me because that's just like real post-Oscar fuck you energy, and I love it. It's like I don't need to be in Star Wars. I just want to get an Oscar. I can do whatever I want to. I'm not doing that. And I was just like, I get it, but she'd be great in Star Wars too. So I welcome that. And then Mandalorian and Grogu itself, I was listening a little bit earlier too. I was just, but in general, I think that looks great. I think it looks so fun.
Me too.
And all the footage from it, I looked for it. I had to see it. It looks, it's the smallest budget for a Star Wars movie in this era. And it looks like the highest budget in this era. It looks great. It just, from a cell phone video of a sizzle reel at Star Wars Celebration, but like, I don't know, I'm sold. And I found, I've heard people talking about that movie. Like I'll see it, but I can't get excited about it. And I think I found my way into being excited about it. And that's, it's Ludwig Göransson. Like it's just gotta be because like Sinners just came out this weekend and I've gotten this nasty habit of listening to the score for a movie before I see the movie, which is like so against type for me in general, but it's amazing. It's so good. And I was like, oh yeah, Ludwig's in, like, I forget who his protege was for season 3, but if they're involved in making the music for it and the score for it, it's like that's that in an IMAX theater, just like pumping.
I just gotta chill, good. Yeah.
Just even the theme song for Mandalorian in the IMAX in like an orchestral movie version of it, like absolutely. It's gonna just blow us away, I think. So And I miss those guys. Every time Mandalorian and Grogu come up on screen, I'm like, there's my guys.
I know.
Where have you been? Come back.
I want to see them, mess around, go on adventures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely going to sound great on IMAX speakers. It's going to sound. I saw Minecraft we had got one of those like new crazy, like apocalyptic sound theaters downtown in Grand Rapids, and like we went to see Minecraft and didn't know we bought tickets for that theater. And the Superman trailer played, and like the John Williams like guitar version of that score played, and I was like weeping in my seat because it was just like a holy experience. Just and I was like, we're gonna see that movie in this theater like 20 times because I realized that like sound might be the most important part to me, like being in a loud theater for something like that. Like when Mission Impossible comes out, I like got to go big and loud. And it's like, so when you go see Mandalorian and Grogu, that score is just going to be like obliterate everybody, I think. So.
Oh yeah, totally. Travis, are you
sorry? I was checking my phone. So, John, we just had an episode.
Amateur.
I bored him off the stream. He was like, wrap it up.
4 updates for live.
Oh yes,
updates.
of course.
The Ahsoka panel is coming up pretty soon. I'm assuming, Kara, do you know what time it is?
I believe it's at midnight our time, but let me
midnight Eastern.
Spreadsheet.
Midnight Eastern.
Midnight Eastern, I believe. Yes, midnight Eastern time.
Likely be streamed, I would assume. Maybe?
Have any of them been?
Did they do?
Well, they did. They just did Andor.
They did.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that makes sense to me because it's coming out next week. But
yeah.
Who knows?
So we'll just get updates on our phones from that at 11 Central. What are your thoughts, John, on Ahsoka? Where are you at? Where do you stand on that right now? Because it's been a couple years since it's been out. We haven't got really much news at all. We don't know what it's going to be about. We know it's probably going to bridge that gap to that movie. Where are you at on Ahsoka?
I liked Ahsoka. I didn't like the finale, not for the like stupid reasons that people were complaining about. I just was like, okay, I guess that's it's one of those finales that I think will age better when you get more seasons out. But I thought Ahsoka was great. Again, a little soundstagey sometimes, but the characterizations going into live action like that and then supporting the whole show with Rebels characters was really wonderful. And he's like, let's do it right now. I
have hundreds that I'm trying to get through on this, so just keep talking. And
that's all we have planned for tomorrow. I'm coming back. We're just scanning our phones for old pictures.
I'm gonna download all my pictures and just show them on screen all night.
Are you in that one? But the thing is, I really need to revisit Ahsoka because I heard you guys talking about this before I was coming on, that like it coming out during the strikes and there's not being that level of podcast discourse around it. It's like that stuff really does help cement what happens in your head.
Yes.
It's like I don't have a lot of time to go back and revisit things like that lately, and so I needed to go back and spend some more time with it. But I remember really being super into it.
Absolutely.
And like liking it for what it was, and like Hu Yang being in live action was so great. Good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. And of course the 5th episode was like, get out of here, please. It's great. Oh, I'm kind of all over the place. I wanted the poster for the 20th anniversary of the animation.
John, you are psychic. I swear on my life, I was about to say that. As soon as you stopped talking, I was going to say that.
So never.
No, I'm serious. That was what I wanted to bring up because I don't know if you were going to say what I'm going to say, but Nick Tiers posted in his story that there is a stormtrooper from Detours on that animation poster.
Yeah. It's tucked away in the very bottom and like in the front and the right. So a little wink and a nod there. That's cool. But just a beautiful, incredible. Cool. And I love a poster. The boys have like a Marvel picture in the room that has like 100 Marvel characters on it. And I used to love like stuff like that as a kid, just like poking her through like where's Waldo type stuff and like, oh, where's this person? Oh, that different things popping out to you.
There's a big Star Wars one too, isn't there? Like a famous one.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a StreamYards theme. Is it coming over in like blue highlight for everybody else, or is that just like how it looks on StreamYards?
I see it look normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on mine it's like highlighted blue. I just
that's
wanted to
weird.
point that out. But
Okay.
just the Bendu being in the middle like that,
Yeah.
and like
So good.
The Loth Wolf on the left hand side,
The
and
ships in the back.
incredible.
you got
That's really
Kaz over
good.
there from I'm blanking. Oh my God.
Resistance, and Niku
Resistance,
is right there
Niku.
in the front too. Yep.
And
Yeah.
Dina, shout out to Dina who cosplays as Fee, but she noticed while she was looking for all the Bad Batch people that Crosshair isn't even looking at the
Yeah,
POV of the
over
poster. He's just like
It's over. He's over it. That's so
so
fun.
good.
And those are just those little Lucasfilm, LucasArts decisions of like just like it'd be fun if they were doing this and this. Let's goof around with this one.
And Tech is like showing something to a droid. Like
It's perfect. Kaz is one of the so in that Star Wars card game, you have a base and a leader, and then you build around that. And one of the leaders is Kaz, and I was like, it's apparently like a decent card sometimes, but I was like, what is his special ability? Like slips on a banana peel and like a bucket falls on his head and falls over the edge, and then like that's your
Kaz had a lot of character growth in those two seasons.
Did.
Season 2 of Resistance.
He's really good. Yeah.
Season 2 of Resistance rips. It's so awesome. Season 1 is not bad at all. I think it's good. I think it's actually underrated if anything. Yeah. But Season 2 of Resistance, I was like, why didn't anybody talk about this season? It's so good.
It came out at such a weird time where they weren't like full on Disney Plus. They didn't really know what, and you had to like download an app on your phone to watch it, wasn't it? Like Disney
something like that.
Something or other.
Was it XD?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Disney Plus wasn't a thing yet. That's right.
You had to download. I had an app on my phone that we watched it on, and then it would come out like the next week. I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But
I remember that because I watched the Rebels finale on that app at work when I was in production at the brewery that I worked at. I was like just on my phone, and like boxes were flying off the conveyor belt, and I was like, "It's gonna want one of those, or like real responsible."
Brian says Omega is on Wrecker's shoulders.
Man, so
and that's the kind of stuff. It's so fun to just like discover what's going on with stuff like that. It's so fun.
That's great. I love
Celebration's the best.
Isn't it?
It's really like even like Star Wars. I realized to me lately is like it's always this little burning ember for me to enjoy, and then when stuff like this happens, it just like lights it up, and it's like it's all I can think about all day. And man, I hate to just like go back into this already, but like that Maul Shadow Lord, like even the font or like the actual logo for it is like the best.
Really cool.
I love Maul's evolution from a character who didn't talk at all to the most talkative, gabby character of all time, because I love him in the Clone Wars, especially we talked about it going to screen the Siege of Mandalore on a theater all together, all the episodes together, which we were talking about it earlier. That could have been a movie. They could have done a full movie release for just that arc.
Well, basically, it was the way they did the credits before and after. Remember when that came out, and it was like the Clone Wars saved situation, and we meet the Bad Batch, we do all this, we're like, this is great, this is really fun, I'm glad that this is back. And then the last 4 episodes of that green Lucasfilm Limited logo came up, and you're like, oh shit, like this is what we're doing. Okay, I see how you're rolling.
Crazy.
Filoni.
Some of the best Star Wars, and I'm really jealous that other people are getting to see it on a big screen, because I would love
that. Would be so awesome.
Yeah. I like that they're screening this, like the Siege of Mandalore, and they're screening a couple other things tomorrow, and they did one yesterday. I just think that's cool. Like throughout Celebration, if you don't have a panel going on a stage, just like throw something on, like I love that. They used to be a big thing at like at least 1 through 3. I don't know how long it lasted for Celebration, where they would have like a screening room where they just showed a continuous video of just random shit. I mean, I guess it was in the days before YouTube, but they would show like the Ewok behind the scenes thing that Warwick did. They would show the Boba Fett from the holiday special. They would show fun. Talking about Star Wars on all different sitcoms and stuff. And they would just put this like clip reel together. It's such a smart idea. I have obviously I have the color program for Celebration 1, obviously. And it actually
Duh.
has in the
Who, me?
back,
Couldn't be me.
in the back, it actually has a list of what clips are in the
That's
thing, and it's really cool.
I always crack up thinking that reminds me of like Jason and Gabe talking about them playing a theater that plays all the Star Wars movies at all times. You just dip back and forth between them.
Yeah.
But I always remember when I first started listening to Blast Points, them talking about like a room at Celebration that's just buttons you press.
Yes.
And I was
Make
like,
noises,
this is the show for me. When I think that's when I realized that. It was like, it just cracks me up that they'll just go in a room and just like powering things down, powering things back up. They should bring that back. That would be so fun to just like pop in and just spend some, just like kind of decompress. That sounds like it'd be really calming to just sit and watch stuff like that on a loop.
Like it's like when you go to a museum and they have like a little like a screen with a couple chairs and they're just showing the same video.
Yeah, exactly. My first thought was like the Maelstrom at Disney World. Like at the end of it had like a short film about Norway when you got off of it. Like the Maelstrom was like my favorite ride ever. And you get up and you just watch this, like it's on loop constantly. And it's like if you're working in that station, you probably are losing your mind because you're like step off the sled for another short film about Norway. And I was like over and over and over. Sorry if there's any Norwegians in the chat if I just butchered your accent. If you even noticed I was doing one. Did you see also that they're on Disney Plus? They're releasing ride-throughs of Rise of the Resistance. And
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, it looks
I
amazing.
didn't see that.
Is it Star Tours? What's the other one?
I can't remember the other Rise of. No, it's just a Galaxy's Edge one. Yeah, it just like
is it Falcon?
No, it's just like a point of view, like walking through Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. And so there's Rise of the Resistance. I'm really excited. Is that May the 4th too? I think.
I would think so.
It's coming
I don't
soon.
know the actual date on it. Yeah.
So it's just like a ride through, like the ones on YouTube.
Yeah, POV on like a YouTube. Yeah,
I'm sure it's going to be better than like a cell phone.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not.
I think it's going to be like
someone drops the phone during it.
And I think the Galaxy's Edge. I again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Galaxy's Edge one is like through a quiet Galaxy's Edge. It's not like just walking around waiting in lines for Ronto wraps and stuff, but it's like quiet and they have everything like lit up still. I think it's like an overnight, like you're going through when it's quiet and dark and all that stuff. So that looks really cool. Yeah, it's a good
stuff like that. Cool. Stuff like that. I feel like if you counted how many Star Wars fans there are in the world, like counted every single last one of them, and then looked at the viewership of something like that, they would match because it's like no one else is going to watch that. Like, but it's just like we're like, oh, can't wait for the ride through of Rise of the Resistance comes out.
Got my calendar marked. Got an alarm set.
Gotta watch it 20 times that day. I loved Biomes when that came out.
Yeah, that was cool.
I put that on to like read or study or like study. What am I studying? To read or work at home. I am going back to school, but
yes, you are. That's true.
I'm not studying anything yet, but I will be studying these Star Wars. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So
it's been a day.
We're gonna wake up tomorrow to more news. Let's go ahead and we'll start our outro here, John. You can just stay with us. What's going on tomorrow? So we have another night of streaming ahead of us. A couple of really fun guests coming on. What else do we have to look forward to? Obviously, Star Wars Visions.
Schedule.
I am just so thrilled. I cannot wait to see that.
Do you think they'll go back to anime for that?
I think that was the call, was that they are, but I can't remember exactly. But I cannot wait until that comes out. Season 2 and season 1 really was so fun, and we covered it on the show and dug into some of those. It's stuff that you can, I've put them on so many times since then, but Star Wars Visions is the coolest. I'm glad that it's getting like the panel tomorrow.
Totally. And there is also a Disney Experiences Building the Galaxy with Walt Disney Imagineering tomorrow. As well as they're screening the Star Wars Rebels finale. That's fun.
Is it a video of me watching it on my phone at Founders on the assembly line?
I think it's live CCTV. There's also I think a sleeper panel is the heroic sidekicks of Star Wars. Did they say who's in that? I'm gonna
That
look it up on the app
I
right
think
now.
Ahmed is in that one. I believe. There is a panel also tomorrow with Manny Jacinto.
Period. It's the one with Vanessa Marshall.
Yeah,
I
it's
forget
the
what it's
one.
called.
I think that's the one that replaced the Oscar Isaac one.
Oh wait, I think that's today.
Is that today? Okay.
Hold on. I'm not sure. I think it's today. Oh, the
Okay.
Fett family's tomorrow. That's always fun.
It's a fun one. Yep.
And
Is
then we-
Tem is there, right?
Yes, he's definitely there. He looks great.
Yeah.
I saw some pictures. It was like
That was a really long, drawn out great.
He
there.
just
I
looks
said that. I couldn't tell if it was gonna be crazy or great.
no.
It's
He
like
looks
you're like try
Oh,
something
okay,
new
so-
today.
heroic heroic sidekicks is Anthony Daniels, Alan Tudyk, Ahmed Best, and Ashley Eckstein.
That's a good one.
And Ashley's moderating.
She's
But
hosting,
I
yeah.
was gonna say if John is still there Sunday, I was thinking maybe John, because John Boyega's there, isn't he?
I don't know. I
Didn't he
haven't-
do?
He was at C2E2.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. He
I
wasn't
don't think
announced.
he's there.
God, I can't keep.
Yeah, he went off on
Mm.
Star Wars recently, so I don't know if he's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, I mean, he
he
has
had
been
every
doing
right
a lot
to,
of
but-
conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
has. And he
Um,
has been taught. I have seen some like from panels and stuff, and like he's still like everything that he said is true.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
but he's also like talking like super like he's still a huge Star Wars fan, and
Yeah.
I hope we get John back. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
we forget that there's
I don't know if we
nuance to
deserve him.
people's lives that are celebrities still too.
Right.
Like it's not all good, all bad, or just
Yeah,
hot takes everywhere. It's he's a person and
Yep.
he's awesome. I don't know. I love that guy.
I love John.
Also,
I'm
don't we find out when the next
yeah, the
celebration
next
is?
one.
And
Yeah,
where?
That is tomorrow. I'm staying up all night tomorrow night. So
that's the big
after
one.
our
Yeah.
stream, I'm doing the long haul because I'm not going to be able to sleep until I know.
What time
So-
What time? The end of the show to our time? Or to Eastern
Yes,
time?
please hold while I can consult the spreadsheet. If you would like to access the spreadsheet, please visit celebrationdatabase.com
Wow.
and read the most recent blog.
Yes.
I'm just glad you didn't do the ass one.
So this is Abe Yoda,
Abe Yoda.
part of Conan O'Brien's Rejected Star Wars Characters, which is an ongoing bit that we talked about on the podcast. Go listen to that. Star Wars and Pop Culture, Conan O'Brien. It was the best time. Me and John had we just laughed the whole time. Conan O'Brien is the best. He's a legend.
The
And
goat.
there was just so many good bits that we went through, and we didn't even scratch the surface at all.
Yeah, we do a whole nother episode probably.
Yeah. Yep. I think we do. We need to start planning that for sure.
And also, by the way, Brian in the chat said it's 2:30 a.m. is when the closing ceremonies begins. So I would say Eastern time, that is. So I would say by 3, because usually I don't think the closing ceremonies goes for a full hour. So I would say definitely by 3:30 a.m. Eastern, but probably a little earlier. We will have.
Did they do in London? Did they do that crazy thing that they did with remember in Chicago how they had Darth Vader's lightsaber chasing the Death Star plans around the auditorium?
Oh, right. And then didn't
they-
they do another thing in Anaheim where they were like passing it or something? Or is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. It was in Chicago. They
Okay.
were passing the Death Star plans, and then there was a Darth Vader lightsaber following giant in the crowd, people passing like surfing around.
Right.
And they had to get the plans to the stage to announce where the next Star Wars celebration
Right.
was.
No, they
first. So I
didn't
was like,
do that in London, but Amy Ratcliffe, shout
cool,
out
so
to
they
Amy.
couldn't do it again.
Amy announced it. And yeah, and then I cried a lot. But anyway, so John, where do you think it's gonna be? We talked about our thoughts, but do you have any?
Is there any precedent celebration historian of San Francisco ever happening?
It's never happened before. They've done LA and Anaheim.
Is there a convention center in San Francisco? That was my first
That
thought.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because it's probably as far as we know going to be 27, which is the 50th. And I
Yeah.
have heard people say maybe it'll be West Coast to correspond with the George Lucas Museum.
I think that's right. I think it's gonna be West Coast to tie into that for sure.
Interesting. It's
That's
just
my thought.
there's been so many whispers of Orlando, but the more I think about it, I don't know that you can have 50th anniversary of A New Hope not in California.
Whispers of
Only
Orlando sounds like a romance novel title.
Which one?
Whispers of Orlando. It sounds like a steamy romance.
Yeah.
Jacopo is the only person that knows for sure where the next celebration is, but he would not tell us.
He doesn't
I
know.
saw that.
He said that.
He
He didn't say
but
he know. He didn't say he knew.
No, he
I
did.
could see it. I could see it in his eyes. He knew.
He said that he had heard things, but he
He had heard
wouldn't
things.
say.
Yeah.
But
He
I've
did a
heard
shifty- He did a
things.
shifty eye thing where he was like, "Can't tell you."
Nope.
I've heard things too, y'all.
I think that is a good
What have you heard?
stopping
You
point.
can say it. This is your stream.
No,
You
I
can
mean,
say what you want to.
I haven't heard anything official at all, or even remotely.
Okay.
Just people speculating, just speculating.
It's actually in Muskegon, Michigan. It's at the old.
It's at the factory that you worked in.
Yeah,
with
for sure.
the
It's
computer
in,
development.
it's in the barrel house of founders and by the highway.
John, thanks for joining the show. Where
Yeah,
can
thanks for
people
having me.
find you? How?
hang on,
Go ahead.
Just chilling on Lothal.
Yep.
Hanging out between the world between worlds.
That's
Cool.
where he'll be.
Yeah, I got nothing going on right now. Online wise, I've been considering some different projects and things like that. But I mean, you can listen to old episodes of my podcast, Best One Since the Next One. You can find stuff like that at B1M1 Pod. Both Travis and Kara both been guests multiple times, and it was fun to do that. And I think I'm there's inklings of wanting to do something like that again. So we'll figure it out. We'll find something out. But this year's kind of kicking my ass, and I want to make sure that I'm present for my kids and hang out before that. Not that you're not, guys. I'm like,
Jeez.
I don't have any of those.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's one of those things where it's like this. It's been a strange year, so it's like I can't really think of anything like that right now. But I really had fun doing it, and I want to get back to it sometime. So,
Last Dance podcast coming soon.
I mean, we could do it right now.
Anytime.
I told you the stream was just me trying slam dunks the whole time.
Where's the hoop?
Backwards.
Yeah, for sure. I just shatter a backboard as I sign off.
Kara, is there anything else you want to leave the people with? We will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We're going to be talking about all the overnight news. We're going to be talking about what's coming up then. We're going to have some fun guests. Anything else?
I think that's it. Yeah. I mean, it's just another night of trying to keep up and another morning of catching up. And then we'll be back and talk about what went down. And hopefully we'll have more pictures. People have really been sending us pictures, which is awesome.
will.
So we'll have
That's great.
We'll have a fresh stack tomorrow, which will be fun.
Absolutely. It'll be good to go through. All right, cool. Well, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging on for 2 hours and 13 minutes with us.
Yeah.
That's good.
This is so fun. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.